Good morning, students. Yesterday, I taught you the in trigonometric substitution how we can do the differentiation of function by doing the trigonometric substitution. Told you some pattern how to think that the question suppose come with under root sign. We had some proper substitute like a square minus x square or the x square minus a square and x square plus a square and so on. So yesterday we saw two questions. Today I tell you one more thing. Suppose the question comes in the form of sine and cos or something in trigonometric function already, then how we can think? We don't have actually a special question in the book. Still I can have one question which is in 188 page. 188 page, and question number, it's example number 45. And question 2 I am doing, y is equal to tan inverse of sin x upon 1 plus cos x. So this is the question by which I can understand you that what I am going to tell you. Look the difference between the questions. We had now till now we had two kind of questions. First, the whole exercise 5.3 question number 9 onward, 9 to 15. And then yesterday I told you some question in which under root sign came. Then we actually studied two kinds of a substitutor. Now this is the question in which again tan inverse is coming. As my word, you remember that whenever inverse trigonometry comes, you have to think the substitutor. You have to think about what is a proper substitutor, what can we put instead of x so that it may be easy. But if you will see inside it now, that is still already sine and cos. When the terms already in sine and cos or something in any trigonometric function, you need not substitute any value. You need not substitute any value because already sine or cos term is given there inside it. Suppose it is only x term is coming. Can you compare? Suppose the question is coming like that, 2x upon 1 minus x square. So what is the difference between these two questions? This is question when you look inside that particular value, it is in x. So it requires some value of x. Like I will put x equal to tan theta. So that it becomes 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta. It will be tan 2 theta and tan and tan will cancel. But if you think this question, already sine of something cos like term is given. So we cannot substitute any value there. So what to do only? We just have to simplify. We just have to simplify the term. We have to simplify the term, and we will simplify this term so that I could make it either tan or cot. If it is tan or cot, definitely tan inverse will operate with this and it will make it easy. So I again repeat my sentence. Whenever inverse function is coming with this kind of function where already sine or cos or something like trigonometric function is appearing there, you don't have to substitute any value. You just have to simplify the term and try to create here tan or cot. What I am telling you, look at. This is a sine x. I am not substituting any value, but I am simplifying that. Sine x, this is a famous one. Before yesterday, I discussed with you that these two formulas. You remember that sine theta is in half angle, 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. And 1 plus cos theta, this is downside, 1 plus cos theta, which is equal to 2 cos square theta by 2. Please, if you have seen my videos, if you have studied by yourself, that this is a half angle of sine 2 theta and it is a half angle of 1 plus cos 2 theta. So these were the formulas. Now you just have to put here, look at sine x is equal to 2 sine x by 2 cos x by 2. And upon side, it's a 1 plus cos x is equal to 2 cos square x by 2. This is, I think, you have got till here. 2 cos square x by 2. Now 2 and 2 will cancel, cos and cos will cancel, and y is equal to, you are having sin x by 2 upon cos x by 2, sin x by 2 upon cos x by 2. Look at very easy term is coming here, it is tan x by 2. When it is tan x by 2, tan and tan will cancel into each other and it is just x by 2. When it is x by 2, you can finally differentiate your answer, and x by 2 having a differentiation 1 by 2. That's an answer. So what I wanted to make you the one another pattern of the question when it is inverse trigonometric function, and here the condition is coming with either sine or cos or something like that. So that we just have to simplify and try to simplify the answer. When it will be finally simplified, you can differentiate it. So this was the question from my side. One more question I want to tell you so that you can understand it very well. So let me put one more question from your book. Let me search first because it is not particularly in any exercises given. So I have a question in your book. Question number 6. Question number 6, page number 190. Page number 190. The question is y is equal to cot inverse of 1 plus sin x. Again a good question it is. 1 minus sin x upon 1 plus sin x, 1 minus sin x. So this is a question where we already having the term of either sine or cos. So what to do, students? Recently I taught you that it is an inverse function and it requires some substitution. But if you see next, it is already sine or cos term. So it doesn't require the substitution, any proper substitution. So what to do? You have to simplify that term. So how to simplify the term? Lastly, I used two formulas, but this time it is not 1 plus cos or something like. So what the easy thing is now? You do the rationalization. It will make the question easy. So this time we have the term 1 plus sin x, 1 minus sin x upon same. So I will rationalize the term, and you know the procedure. I multiply and divide by the term of opposite sign of denominator. So what comes next? Y is equal to cot inverse a plus b, and a plus b both are same, meaning it will be a plus b. It is a plus b whole square, and about the downside it is a minus b and a plus b. It is a square minus b square. Very simple. Now next, it is y is equal to cot inverse, it's a plus b whole square will be a square plus b square plus 2ab, 2a and b. And about the downside, it is a square, meaning 1 plus sin x, and b square is 1 minus sin x. Because of minus sign, it will get plus. What coming next now? It is cot inverse. So both sign will cancel. 1 and 1 will be 2 plus 2. A plus b and a minus b. I'll join both of the under root sign. It will be a plus b minus b, a square minus b square. Upon these two 1 and 1 cancel, it's a 2 sin x. Now what about the next term? It's a cot inverse of 2 and 2 will cancel. 1 plus 1 minus sin square is equal to cos square x. Will come out from the root sign, it will be cos x upon sin x. So recently I taught you these two formulas. Now fortunately same formulas are appearing here. 1 plus cos x, which is this one, and this is sin x, which is this one. So I use again both of the formula here because it is a cot, and definitely question will be easy. So using the same formulas, we have both y is equal to, it is a cot inverse of 1 plus cos x will be 2 cos square x by 2 upon, this is sin x will be 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. Now 2 and 2 will cancel, cos and cos will cancel. We are having now the term cos x by 2 upon sin x by 2. And final answer with you now, cot inverse of cos by sin is equal to cot x by 2. And the purpose fulfilled now, both cot will cancel to each other, remaining same y is equal to x by 2. Last we got same, and dy by dx is equal to definitely so 1 by 2 because the differential of x is 1. So this is the question. I hope you have got till now that if the inverse function is coming with any this kind of a function along with sine or cos, something is coming there, you just have to simplify and do the differentiation. So let me write it now. Okay, one more question of the substitution. I'm telling you. Tomorrow we'll go ahead. The question is again page number 188 and question number 3rd. In example number 45, 3rd is being good. Y is equal to sine inverse of 2 to the power x plus 1 upon 1 plus 4 to the power x. It's a very important question as far as the exam is concerned. So let me tell you one question, how can it be done. First, it is sine inverse and 2 to the power x plus 1 upon something is being there. So it is not any sine or cos here. We have to substitute some value. So how can it be done? Let me explain something. Actually 2 to the power x plus 1 can be written 2 to the power x. उसको भैया उसको बाहर दो मिनट 2 to the power x into 2 to the power 1 upon 1 plus 4 to the power x will be written 2 to the power x. Actually not so. 2 to the power 2 to the power x. Now try to catch the term what I am writing here. It is 2 to the power x plus 1. I have written 2 to the power x into 2 to the power 1. Same meaning. And 1 upon 4 to the power x will be written 2 to the power 2 to the power x. So both are actually balanced. So what I am trying to write here, look at it is 2 to the power 1 will 2 into 2 to the power x, okay, upon 1 plus 2 to the power 2 to the power x. I'll write the same term, but I interchange this power because ultimately the power is a multiplication. So 2 into x or x into 2 both are same. So the purpose to write like that, because now this time it is looking like a formula. You know, 3 kind of substitutor I taught. First, which looks like a formula. Second, with those containing the under root sign, and third, having only sine or cos here. So this time it is looking 2 into this upon 1 plus this square, which looks like 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta, and it is specific formula of sine 2 theta, which actually give the idea to put instead of 2 to the power x is equal to tan theta. So I'll put specially 2 to the power x equal to tan theta, because by putting this it will be actually forming the same formula, so that we can put instead of that will be sine 2 theta. So I'll put 2 to the power x equal to tan theta. So it will become sine inverse of 2 into 2 to the power x is equal to tan theta upon 1 plus 2 to the power x equal to tan theta, and then square will be tan square theta. Now it is looking like a formula, and I'll use here the formula 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta equal to sine 2 theta. So using directly sine 2 theta, then sine and sine definitely will operate to each other. It will be 2 theta. Now put your theta. Theta was tan inverse 2 to the power x. Tan inverse 2 to the power x. So that is very good. Actually question have come here. So you have to learn the first time 2 to the power x is coming. So now it's time to do the differentiation. 2 is a constant value. Come ahead. D by dx of tan inverse of 2 to the power x being here. It's a function of function. So first you do the differentiation of tan inverse, and then second by the chain rule 2 to the power x will differentiate. So tan inverse having a differentiation 1 upon 1 plus x square, but this time your x is 2 to the power x, and like that. So tan inverse this, so 1 upon 1 plus this square, and d by dx of what coming 2 to the power x. And one must know that it is 2 upon 1 plus 2 to the power x to the power 2. You can write 2 to the power 2x, or something like 4 to the power x also can be written. So it is so, and now 2 to the power x have a differentiation. If you forgot, let me write d by dx 2 to the power x will follow d by dx a to the power x, and a to the power x have formula a to the power x log a. So if you don't know that, okay, I'll explain in the next lecture. Hope you haven't studied till now, but if I have completed my solution till here, so I'm writing it. 2 to the power x have answered 2 to the power x log 2. 2. And the last answer is 2 to the power x, and 2 will be 2, x plus 1, then log 2 upon 1 plus 2 to the power 2x. Okay, one trouble, actually I took the question from the miscellaneous exercise. This formula you haven't studied till now, no matter at all, but the procedure was important. The last step you will actually get after my explanation how we can get d by dx of e to the power x. So it will be actually done tomorrow, no matter. Till now, today's over. I think you can now do practice of the exercise 5.3. Thank you.